Okay, we are gonna talk about the calculus, but give you some introduction before that. These are the basics. Just remind you. See, I might have, and I'm sure I made mistake in my videos because just to be in a hurry to make a lot of videos, and myself, I'm a student, but try to make videos for IT majors. Okay. See, let's go through this very fast to see what's is going to be. See, this is fraction numbers, multiplication of this is multiplication. We have parentheses, we have multiplication. If, uh, so what's going to be numerators times each other, denominators times each other, then minus 16, 21, 3 times 7, 21. Well, how about if it was minus 2? Okay, it's going to be plus 16 then. Okay, minus times minus is going to be plus. Minus times plus is going to be minus. Minus plus times minus is going to be minus. Plus times plus is going to be plus. Okay, this is we can put the 3 over 5 times minus 2. We can put a 1 here. You can put any number. The 29. We can write it 29 over 1. Okay? So this is minus 6, 5, and this is have common denominator. We write it here. Minus 7, minus 5, minus 2, minus 7. See, if the denominator is equal, then we can write it like this. If you know, I talked about it in the college algebra 1, but I'm going through this very fast. Okay, so this is going to be 7 minus 9 plus 3 is going to be minus 6. Okay, if it was, this is like 3 and 4, what's going to happen? The denominator is not. The best way is to multiply these two together, and it's going to be 12. 12 divided by 3 is going to be 4. 4 times 9 is going to be 4 minus 36. Okay, and then 12 divided by 4 is going to be 3. 3 times 3 is going to be plus 9. So it's going to be 27 minus 27 over 9. Okay, if you have radical this, if you want to write it in exponential form, we write 5. This is actually 1. The degree, the exponent is 1. And this is the index. So we can write it 1 over 3. Or this one. This is, we can write it 3. This is 2. If this is doesn't, we don't write it here, it's 2. So this is going to be 1, this is 2, this is going to be 1 over 2. And this is the same here. It's going to be 6. And then we write the exponent of this one at the top, in numerator, and 4 is going to be at the bottom. Okay? Okay, how about if you write it in the form of radicals? Okay? We write it here, 4. The top one is going to be the degree, the exponent of this number under the radical, and then 3 is going to be here. So we always write this one like this. And then if you have like this, 5, the top is going to be the exponent of this one, and 3. Okay? How about if you have something like this? How we write it in a exponential form? 4, see, this is actually comes to the power of this one. If you have something like this, to the power, the whole thing to the power of 5 is going to be power of this. So we can write it like this. And then the answer is going to be 4, 5 over 3. Okay? How about this one? See, if you have both of them both of them have the exponent, I mean the raised to the power of 2, both of, I mean the parentheses is cover both the numerator and denominator. Okay, so we have to raise it, each of them to the power of 2. Then 3 is going to be to the power of 2, and 4 is going to be power of 2, it's going to be 9 over 16. How about this one? This is only raised to the denominator raised to the power of 2. Okay, so x2, 3. Okay. So how about this one? This one, both of them. To raise x to the power of 3, 5 to the power of 3 is going to be 125. Okay, how about this one? If you set something raised to the power of minus 2, the exponent is minus, then what we should do, you just reverse the denominator and numerator. You're going to write it 6 over 5, and then the exponent is going to be positive, okay? So it's easy now. So what you do is going to be 6 to the power of 2, 36, 5 to the power of 2 is going to be 25, okay? And then how about this one? So when we have this one, we just reverse this one. It's going to be 1 over 3 to the power of 2. It's going to be 1 over 9. So 1 to the power of 2 is going to be 1, 3 to the power of 2 is going to be 9. Okay. How about this one? This one is only numerator. The parentheses here, it's at the numerator to the power of 2 minus 2. What you do, you just reverse this one. It's going to be 1 over 5 to the power of 2, and then 4. What's going to be happen here? This is going to be 1 over 25 divided by 4, and then we say this one multiplied this one, and this one multiplied with this one. It's going to be 1 over 100. Or some other method you're familiar, we say 1 over 25 times, when you divide it by, when it's divided by 4, you can write it in this form, 1 over 25 multiplied 1 over 4. Okay, it's going to be 1 over 100. So this is the way do it. So if I make mistake, that I'm sure I made mistake many times, you know, but you gotta leave a comment that I made a mistake, and I would be happy to, you know, admit it and correct myself. Okay, how about we have something like 3 radical 2 over 3 times to the power of 2 minus okay, how do you do this one? See, if you have seen, the parentheses cover the whole, the numerator and denominator. So this is going to be 3 radical 2 to the power of 2. It's going to be 9 times 2 is going to be 18. Okay. And then 3 to the power of 2 is going to be 9. So this is going to be, the whole thing is going to be 18 over 9, which is 2. Okay. So this is equal to 2. See if I did it right. When you have something like this, like for example, you have x times radical 3 to the power of 3, for example. this is multiplication, not plus. Plus is different. This is multiplication. X times x to the power of. So the first one is going to be raised to the power of 3, and then times the second one to the power of 3. This is going to be cancel out. It means that this cancels, but this one is going to be 3. So 3x3 is going to be the answer. Oh, I'm sorry. If this is 3. This is going to cancel. If not, it's different. Then you have to write it. This is comes to the. This is going to be like 4. This is we have 4. The 3 is going to be 3 here. Okay. And then you write it 3 to the power of 4. It's 3 divided by 4. 3 to the power of 3, we simplify like this. So if this one is going to be, if this is multiplication by this, so the answer is going to be x3, x to the power of 3 times 3 to the power of 3, 4. So we can write it, we cannot simplify or factor. So let's go back to this one, okay? Now we know that this is going to be, the first one is going to be 2, okay? But now we go for the second one. The second one is 3 cancels out, okay? It's going to be 3, 18, and it's going to be divided by 3. We can simplify 1 over 6. It's 18 divided by 3 is going to be 6. So 1 over 6, 2 minus 1 over 6. And then you know how to do that, you multiply the numerator and denominator, the first one, by 6. So we have the common denominator. 2 times 6 is going to be 12. And 1 is going to be, this is going to be 6 times 2, 6 times 1, 12 over 6. This is the same as 2 minus 1 over 6. So it's going to be, the answer is going to be 11 over 6. Okay. And so the another example we have over 2 to the power of 2, the whole thing. This is to the power of 2 is going to be 2, and this one to the power of 2, 25. The answer is going to be 2 to 25. Okay. And we have, okay, there is another way of doing it. If this is the power of 3, we can say that actually this is 4 to the power of 3. This power is coming to 4 only for the under the radical. So we have 3 here, we have 3 here, then it's going to cancel out. Actually, you can write it 4, okay. The numerator here is going to be 3, the exponent of the number under the radical, and 3 here, so it's going to be 1. So 4 is to the power of 1. Means this cancels out 4. Okay. And then we have, remind you of the radical. If you have 3, 5 times 3, 6, see they have, the index are the same, so we multiply the numbers under the radical, so it's going to be 30. So, okay. If we go to, you know that if the index are the same, we can multiply by this. But if you have something like this, 3, 4 times 4, 5, you cannot multiply this. What we can write, you can write 1 over 3 times 5, 1 over 4. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, there is another thing in radical that if you have 27 here, 27 here, we can write it 3 to the power of 7. 3 to the power of 7 is going to be 27. So you know, remember that 3 to the power of 3 is going to be 3 times 3 times 3. We multiply by the number of the exponent. There are 3 of them. So if 3 to the power of 4, we can write 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3, 27. 27 times 3 is 81. Okay. So when we have something like this, you write it in exponent form, 3 over 3 is going to be, actually this cancels out with this, is going to be 3 to the power of 1 is 3. Okay. So, see, I want just to let you know that this, recognize that this is totally different from this, because sometimes you can make mistake. This is multiplication. 3 times radical 14 means radical 14. If you use the calculator, square root of this one is, this is a square root, but it's going to be 3.74, I think. So it's going to be 11.22. Double check this. But this one is plus, okay? We say 3 plus 3.74. I mean, I rounded to 2 decimal places, okay? I rounded to 2 decimal places. And so this is going to be 6.74. Okay. But if you wanna raise to the power of 2, what's gonna happen? Okay, the first one is gonna be raised to the power of 2 times the second one to the power of 2, and it's gonna be 9, and this is cancels out. See, it's gonna be like this, 14 to the power of 2. This one with this one cancels out, so it's going to be 9 plus 14. It's going to be 19. I'm sorry, 23. Okay. So remember, these are the basic things that we have to know about all these, and just before the derivatives, before we get into derivatives, we are going to talk a little bit about that. See, if you have y is equal to 1 over 4 x to the power of minus 3. Okay, well, how do you get the derivative of it? I just want to just mention that, power rule, and this just a little bit, talk about a little bit about it so you have familiar when you get into the derivative. See, what happened, this is going to be multiplied by the coefficient of this. It's going to come up front multiplication with 1, 4, and this is going to be minus 1. Whatever it has, whatever the exponent is going to be minus 1. I mean, actually, you added minus 1 to it, okay? So, what you do, you say minus 3 minus 1, okay? So it's going to be 3 over 4. But remember the multiplication? The numerator times each other, denominator times each other, 3 over 4 times x minus 4. This is going to be add this together. Always minus. You will get into this detail, the more detailed pretty soon. So, how about if this is plus 3? You don't write it. If it's plus, we don't write the plus sign behind it, okay? So what is going to be the derivative of this one? Y prime, or they say dx over dy. Y prime is going to be 1 over 4. This 3 is going to be multiplied by this times x. This is going to be 3 minus 1. In the derivative, we have minus 1. We added the exponent minus 1 to it. And so in derivative, we add minus 1 to it. So it's going to be 3 over 4, okay, times x. 3 minus 1 is going to be 2. 3 minus 1 is going to be 2. But this was minus, I said, like if this is minus 6, whatever, it's going to be minus 1, it's going to be minus 7. Okay? Or sometimes you have x to the power of minus 1 over 2. Okay, well, what is going to be? This is going to be minus 1 over 2 minus 1, which we can write it like this. And then we have to make the denominator have a common denominator minus, we can write it 2 over 2. So it's going to be 2 minus 3. This. Okay? Minus 3 over 2. I mean, actually, if you have half, okay, in the numbers, we have minus 1 here, it is minus 1 over 2, and it's going to be, you add 1 minus 1 to it. It's going to be minus 3 over 2. Minus 1.1. It's minus or minus 1.5. Okay? Because minus 1 times, actually, this is like minus 1 minus 0.5 is going to be minus 1.5. Okay? So, this is the way you do it. So, okay, let's finish this one. So, what is going to happen is going to be minus 1 over 2 times 2 over 3. So because this one, the whole thing, okay, is going to be multiplied by the coefficient. It's going to come up front and multiplication. And times x minus 1 plus, we still talked about it, minus 1 over 2 minus 1 is going to be minus 1.5 is minus 3 over 2. Okay? You got it? because what's going to happen here, we write it the 1 over 2 is going to be written 2 over 2, as we talked about it, it's going to be minus 3 over 2. So the answer here, minus 1 plus minus 1 minus 1 over 2 minus 1 is going to be minus 2 over 6 times x minus 3 over 2. Minus 1 plus minus 1 over 2 is going to be minus 3 over 2. Okay? So in derivatives, we subtract minus 1 from the exponent here. Okay? And then this one is going to be 1 over 3 minus 1 over 3 times x to minus 3 over 2. And if you want to write it in a radical form, what's going to be, say, times x, well, let's write it. See, because it has minus, you reverse it, okay? You reverse it. If this one is x, this is the numerator 3 and 2, okay? This is to the power of minus 1 is going to be. I mean, okay. Let me write it like this. We write it here because in minus 3 we have write it. If you have a radical here, 3, 4 minus 1 is going to be 1 over 4, 3. Okay? Now we write it like this. X is going to be what? It's going to be 3. You know, this is 2, which we don't write it. So this is going to be 1/3 and 1/3 times radical x over 3. Okay? Because by bringing this down here, you the negative sign is going to go away. So let's talk about a little introduction about the about the integration dy over dx or y prime. You want to write it y. This is actually what happened. This is, you're going to add 1 to it. 3 plus 1. Okay? You remember that this is going to be added. Okay? Actually, what happened, 3 times 1 over 4 times 3 to the 1 over 4, okay? Okay. So this is